Hello again, 7th graders. This is Chapter 8.4b, Area of Circles. The formula to find the area of a circle is to take pi r squared. Now notice that this formula is based on radius, and it's the only formula we have for area. So we're going to have to be careful to make sure that we substitute the length of the radius for r. In this first example, we write down the formula, pi r squared. Most of the time we'll be using 3.14 for pi, and the radius, of course, is 12. I have a tendency to write it in 12 times 12. You could put 12 squared. You could write it this way. And then you have an x squared key on your calculator, but that might just be kind of confusing for you, so I would just recommend that you try 12 times 12. Now, yes, you're going to have to put this through a calculator. 3.14 times 12 times 12, or if you know 12 times 12 is 144, put in 3.14 times 144. Again, the fewer buttons you have to press on a calculator, generally the more likely you are to get a right answer. In the calculator, it will be 452.16. Check your directions on the worksheet. Sometimes they might actually ask you to round off to the nearest unit. Now, unit, that would mean ones place. Unit refers to a single or a unit, which is one. All right, so let's look at example B. Or if you'd like, you can hit pause, do it yourself, and then I'll walk through it or go through it myself. First of all, we want to write down the formula, pi r squared. Generally, we are going to use 3.14 for pi. I have the radius here. This is a radius. So I'm going to put in 11.5, and I'm going to put it in there twice. Then, using my handy-dandy calculator, I am going to take 3.14 times 11.5 times 11.5. It does say to round off to the nearest unit, so that should be 415. Again, remember we're working with area, so we're back to using square units. We should have 415 square units. Note the directions here say to round off to the nearest tenth. You also have to be careful. When you look at this diagram on C, it should kind of hit you. Whoa, they've given me the diameter. So I want to use radius, so I'm going to have to substitute using half of that. So area equals pi r squared. 3.14, half of 16 is 8, times 8. Now in my calculator, I am going to put 3.14 times 64, and then make sure you round off to your nearest tenth, should be 201.0 feet squared. Okay, why do I have to put the 0.0? It really tells the reader this is a rounded off answer. It's not going to come out evenly to 201. Please, you try example D. Note that it says to find both the circumference and the area to the nearest tenth. You hit pause, you do the work, and once you restart the lesson, you will see the problem worked out for you. All right, class, here is the circumference, pi d, since they've given me the diameter. You could have used 2 pi r, then you would put in 30 instead of 60. I chose to use the formula for diameter, 188.4 approximately meters. Remember, it's not square units when you're doing circumference. The area, you have to have the radius. If you didn't, your answer is going to be very wrong, because it should be 30 for the radius and not 60. 30 times 30 is 900, 60 times 60 is 3,600, so your answer will be quite off. if you did not use the radius. They're going to put this together a little bit too, with the idea of an irregular figure. In this situation, we have a larger circle, and they tell you the diameter of that one is 2.6 centimeters, and that the diameter of each small circle is 0.6 centimeters. They want to find the area of the shaded region to the nearest unit. Now, who knows, maybe this is a button or something that they make of some sort, or some kind of a plate that you're going to put on a machine. They need to know the area of the shaded area. Now we have two different size circles here. I'm going to start with the large circle. It doesn't really matter, except they tell me the diameter of the large circle first. So the area here is going to be pi r squared. Now, I'm going to use 3.14. Notice my formula calls for radius, but they give me the diameter. So I have to change this to 1.3. 2.6 divided by 2 is 1.3. Now, they want me to round off, and I am not going to round this one off right away. I'm going to keep it as 5.3066 centimeters squared. Sometimes your answers are a little bit more precise if you don't round off until your final step. Now I need to find the area of the small circle, of one small circle. Area equals pi r squared, 3.14. Now, if you remember back up here, they tell you that the diameter of the small circle is 0.6. I need the radius, so I'm going to be putting in 0.3. And my area is going to come out to be 0.2826 centimeters squared. Now, you've got 4 circles. So you want 4 small circles. So you're going to take 0.2826 times 4. And your area for that is going to be 1.1304 centimeters squared. Now, in order to find the shaded area, they're taking these little circles out of the big circle. So that means you're going to want to subtract. Usually if they cut holes into something and they want the shaded area, you're going to have to subtract. So I'm going to take 5.3066 minus 1. Oops, I'm a little bit ahead of myself there. 1304 267 1.4 because and now I need to round that off. Because remember, my original directions were nearest unit. So if I have 4.1, that's going to be approximately 4 centimeters squared. And that completes a lesson for Chapter 8.4b. Please reply with rhombus. Catch you next time.